Good day everyone, my name is Diana and I will talk about the smart shopping trolley technology. We'll begin with what will be covered, such as what are the design that I have put forth and the effect of this innovation, the implementation and operation, cost and benefits of the in terms of financial perspective, sensitivity analysis, and the recommendations. So we start off with the background. Actually, I've analyzed the trend of the competitors such as Tesco and Azlan, which has dropped, which recorded a drop in the market share. And also the grocers are currently under pressure to create a better in-store experience in order to retain their customers. So with this, I have created a solutions to prevent this from happening, which is using the smartphone application. This is true because 58% of smartphone users are comfortable to make online purchases. They perceive it as providing more mobility, and Internet of Things is actually the latest technology which be able to cooperate with other devices through data mining approach. Let's look at the software system block diagram. We start off with the database layer where all the information are stored in the database layer, such as the inventory, customer, purchase order, and so on. And this information can be retrieved or stored via the application layer. And in order to present it to the presentation layer, they will go through an interface layer. It's either used to keep the data or to retrieve the data, to be provided at the presentation layer, which is the main layer where the customer will be using their smartphone, which has Windows, iOS, Android, HTTP or XML. The trolley would also be equipped with a Wi-Fi tablet and power bank, as well as the in-store device, which is the Wi-Fi access points and wireless barcode scanner. So on the right side would be how we generate the reports from these database or this information that's being collected through all these layers. We'll go through the network infra, and then we'll go through the security policy to make sure there's no hacking, or we need to go through a proper secure data retrieve, and will be generate reports and will be published on the console. Next, we look at the architecture diagram. As you see on the left side, it's a trolley equipped with tablet. So the tablet would actually tell, will actually let customer know or detect where the customer is. So when the customer wanted to go to somewhere or want to find something in other aisles, so they will let you know like how to get to aisle 6 from or how to get to this certain section that they want to go. So they will guide as like a GPS. And then with the wireless network also can help to customer to know what are these. When as they enter a particular recipe, they will know what are the items required and how much to make that particular recipe. And when the customer installed the application, it also has a barcode scanner, so whereby the customer use the phone to actually scan the barcode on the item, and then it will automatically scan it and put it in the customer's application, and will calculate the total cost of the items in place in the basket. So on the right side would be the backbone of this infrastructure. Basically, you go through the wireless router, the firewall, the main switch will go to the application database switch or the interface switch, which be accessed to via the admin. Next, we look at the required change. So the customer purchasing process will basically be using the smartphone. They can also do a payment self-checkout basically. This information that is stored in customer or accessed from the smartphone will then be scanned and ordered processed, and this information through the transaction processing system, and they will go through the management information system and supplier inventory management. So from this data, this data that is collected from the customer smartphone will then alert the MIS system and create a report for people like the sales, marketing, finance, operations, and also would create report for the inventory, especially provide the inventory data to the supply systems to manage and update the stock. So the effect of this innovation to HR is that they will reduce manpower greatly on the manpower. because there will be less human, or there won't be any cashier at the cashier counter, a person who actually be at the cashier counter, or someone who keep track of the stock, because everything is done automate all the manual process. And they will train the existing an IT employee that we have to the new technology. As for the sales and marketing, they'll no longer be using the brochure, so it's kind of like the paper brochure. We kind of contribute to the environment, whereby we reduce the use of printed brochures. So we use the more on e-advertisement, e-marketing, as well as we give e-coupons to customers, so they can download the coupons and use it when they make purchase. So accounting and finance will create more profits, because this invention will significantly reduce costs as well as generate more sales. But initially we'll need a capex for this technology. And the production, no longer there will be a wastage, because there will be a just-in-time inventory, able to increase more sales because we reduce waste, and also keep track of the projected increase of the. Next, we look at the costs and benefits of this implementation. So there will be a large amount of capex. However, because we yearly we make a huge amount of revenue per year, so this cost would probably be at 1/3 of the revenue, and OPEX would be lower, much lower each year, about 20%. The break-even and the 6-year investment would be on the 4th year. So upon successful pilot, the main site can be a central location, so other 10 sites can replicate the same technology and use the same resources as well. So it's greatly beneficial for those consumers who are tech savvy. It's actually easy to implement and maintain, and the data can be used to analyze the trend of shopping, and also offers indirect benefit for those who want to charge their phone, even though their intention is not probably to buy 1 or 2 things, but they end up going around the mall while waiting for their phone to be charged. So they could also possibly engage in impulse buying behavior. The costs and benefits will be from a separate financials attachment. Now let's look at the sensitivity analysis. In my proposal, I actually proposed public cloud, whereby you will see in the financial attachment, it actually helps to pay per use, and we don't actually own the equipment. The equipment is actually located somewhere in other data center. So private cloud is more of you owning the equipment on your premise, which can save the organization about 12% and gives peace of mind in terms of data privacy and more control over your resources and infrastructure. Scenario 2 is using a separate system, which is RFID, on top of using a Wi-Fi. To make it more efficient, we can actually have a separate RFID to actually track where the trolley is, and it could actually act as e-marketing tool, where they can alert the customer on the coupons, or work together with the Wi-Fi device. But I think, in my opinion, although it's more focused, but it actually incurred more costs, about 10% of, and will extend the break-even point. Scenario 3 would be to complete outsource it. Although the vendor might have the expertise or the cutting-edge technology solutions, which perceived as reducing costs because you actually outsource this whole infrastructure and technology. But according to a case study, it says that a US tire manufacturer incurred 35% additional costs on top of their yearly contract amount. Lastly, we look at the conclusion and the recommendations. Although mobile application is the latest trend, it's actually also cheaper to implement, as it's actually the current technology. So we're leveraging on the existing customer's device. Maybe take a fraction of the sales being generated, because it actually provide it's easily to maintain, but however it may need time to train the staff to analyze and use the data for their business use. May also be more applicable in urban areas where there will be more smartphone users. and the info that is given is actually based on general assumption, and it much depend on the current US exchange rate, the GST, the growth of the economy, and so on. This innovation can be in phases. So in a Malaysian context where this might or might not work, we can effectively gauge from the first pilot test. Thank you.